With head coach Ryan Craig. Coach, this team is headed to the playoffs. First of all, congratulations. It's got to be something that this group is very proud of.
Step one complete. Yeah. No, happy for our guys. Obviously, the way we did it, both games this week in dramatic fashion. Never quit. Probably a little bit fitting. Carl had to make the save with 3 seconds to go there to seal the deal. But, the building was alive. I thought it was a playoff-style games both nights. That's a good team over there, the Czechs. They're heavy, they're big. We had to work for everything we got this weekend, and especially at the end.
You mentioned the dramatic fashion both last night and tonight. You needed to win both games in regulation this weekend in order to clinch this weekend, and you scored 2 goals less than a minute and a half tonight to do that in regulation. You almost couldn't write it the way that it happened this weekend.
Well, we'll take wins any way you can get them. I mean, we're not just trying to get in. We're trying to get as high as we can, collect as many points as we can. If the game would have taken overtime tonight and we got our 2 points, we'd still be happy about it. All we've done is check a box, right, or get an X by our name. But very proud of that accomplishment. Very proud of our guys. We've talked about since the All-Star break the step we've taken here, and it's a credit to the players.
We talked a little bit with Braeden about this. Even while he was with the VGK most of the season, having a great season, he was still very close friendship-wise with the guys in this dressing room. Now he rejoins this group, and the instant impact has been seismic.
Well, he lives with Huch and Hammer, so he's around it. He understands the ins and outs of what's going on. He came back in. He understands the standards that are expected with this group, and he's just a good hockey player. That's what he is. He's a good hockey player that helps your team win, and he did that big time for us tonight.
With the dramatic wins, coming in the way they did, how do you like the way that has morale shaping up heading into the playoffs?
Well, you speak on something like that. It's you see the bench, you see the excitement after. You're not cruising to a victory.
Right.
The belief that we're never out of a game. You want to make sure we put that in our pocket. How we handle those situations, maybe we can manage them a little bit better certain times, such as giving up the 2-on-1 with 3 seconds to go. But if we're learning lessons while we're winning, while we're having success, while guys individually are having success, it's only going to boost our morale. And when, as the games get higher and higher stakes, we can use that to our advantage.
And then Jonas mentioned playing with a lead is something that you want to work on heading into the playoffs. Is there anything else expanding on that?
Well, I think this weekend we chased the game a little bit. Now we've been a very good first period team though. We've had the lead a number of times. We've been able to get to those spots. So it's not like we haven't done it. It just maybe it feels like in the back of our mind we haven't done it for this weekend. But you got to win different ways, and we've done that since the middle of February or somewhat all year.
Coach, 6 games left in the regular season still. As you mentioned, clinching playoffs is step one. With how tight this division is, home ice is still available. There are still motivators down the stretch here.
Well, we got 2 weeks left. We got 3 games each week. Kind of sets up like a best of 3 series that we're going to most likely be involved in. But we want to try to make sure our game's in good order. We'll worry about our game and how we're playing. And then we'll continue to try to climb as high as we can. We want to finish as high as we can. So that means the higher we finish means the better hockey we're playing. So that's the way we have to look at it. We'll enjoy Easter with our families tomorrow. And I'll get back to work on Monday, preparing for a big game in Coachella on Wednesday.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
With Braeden Bowman. Braeden, this team's been winning some crazy games like this for a few weeks now. This more so than any, and you were right in the middle of it. What was it like to join this group and jump right into this kind of chaos?
Yeah, I know. I think we collectively would like to see our game a little bit more tight to start the game. And once I think we get to our game, we're a pretty tough team to beat, but just that the start wasn't up to our standards. And once we got going, we were kind of behind, but we came back. Thinking about our team, we'll battle hard right to the very end like we saw this weekend. We're a real team in there. And yeah, it's crazy wins, but we'll take them.
2 goals, 4 points, a +4 for you tonight, and of course the most important goal of all. Take us through that process of that last scoring chance with the clock winding down.
Yeah, well, Cogs made a great play up to me, and I thought had a little time and tried to get a shot off there. I was a little upset that I didn't get it on net, and then just kind of a bounce. Sapo got a piece of it, threw it out front, and it honestly just landed on my stick. I did the easy part. It was kind of lucky bounce, but we'll take what we can get.
this is a group, prior to this weekend, the last time you had played with the Silver Knights was back in early November, but you stayed close with this group the entire time. This was still your friend group, the guys in this room. So to rejoin the team at this time of year and finish off this push to clinch a playoff spot, what does it mean to jump right back in with this group?
Yeah, I think with this crew, I mean, since last year, we've been building a culture where we're like brothers. We got an unbelievable crew in that room. We have great older guys, younger guys kind of fit in. And what I've noticed when I've been watching them is just, it's kind of like a train. You keep on rolling, guys coming into the lineup, but the style doesn't change, and the habits and the standards of that group don't change. So I think, it was easy for me to come in. Me and Ronnie kind of joined the team this last weekend, and with the culture that we built in there, I think it's just next guy up, next man up, and I think it showed this weekend.
For you and Jonas, it might be an unfair question because you did just rejoin the group in the last couple of weeks, but 17-3-3 since the All-Star break. This is a team that expects to win. You guys needed to win in regulation tonight to clinch a playoff spot. You scored 2 goals in a minute and a half. Does this team kind of expect to win or expect to get the looks they need to have a chance to get it done, whatever the situation is?
Yeah, I think we've gotten to that point where no matter what the score of the game is, or, we always trust that we're going to find our game, and sometimes it takes a little too long. We'd like to get to our game a little faster, but I think we're at that point now where once we're not at our game, we understand what we need to do to get back to it. And I think it showed. We didn't have our best stuff, like I said at the start, but I think with our team, it's just get to it, build our game, and it seems to come together at the end.
You personally, you've had a pretty wild year in terms of milestones. Where does that goal rank in terms of just excitement?
Yeah, right up there. I was pretty fired up. Went to COG, just started screaming. It's cool to be back with these guys, pretty fired up. Obviously, to clinch a playoff berth, it was pretty special. So, yeah, it was definitely up there.
What do you see as your goal like now? You've got the playoff spot. You look at the standings. You see the teams around you. 6 games to go. What's a realistic goal for you guys to finish for the playoff start?
Yeah, we're just kind of honestly going at this time of year. Now that we're in, we know we're in. We just got to try to build our game for that style. I think we're pretty confident against any opponent. There's good teams on throughout our conference. So I think it's just build our game, and whoever we end up playing, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
And Braeden, just without revealing whatever you're willing to reveal, that win would have been dramatic in the middle of December, but to win that way, to clinch a playoff spot, what was it like when you guys got back into the dressing room?
Oh, yeah, just boys are pretty fired up. Pretty exciting. Yeah, it's great to be back with these guys here. They're all pretty excited for me as, it was awesome, and hopefully we can keep this thing rolling.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
With Jonas Røndbjerg, Ronnie, you've been back with this team for a couple of games now, and they're both dramatic late game winners. Can you explain this? Because it's been hard to get anyone to explain what's been going on with this team for the last couple of months.
Yeah, I don't know. It's exciting to watch, though. Good teams find a way to win, and that's what we're doing at the moment.
You guys, in order to clinch a playoff spot, which you have, you needed to win in regulation. 2 goals in a minute and a half to do just that. What was the mentality going in? Were you guys just trying to just play for the tie, or did you think a minute and a half was enough time?
Well, as it's been going, it's enough time, yeah. I don't know. We went into third trying to make a push, and I didn't really think that worked out the way we wanted, but when we got down there, we found a way again. So, but we would like not to put ourselves in that situation if possible.
This team's headed to the playoffs for the first time since 2022. You are the longest tenured Silver Knight. You've been here since day one. What does it mean to you and to this group to be headed for postseason hockey?
Yeah, it's been 2-3 years since we did that last, so to get to do that again is going to be really exciting.
I don't know if anyone's let you know yet. With your goal this evening, you are the Silver Knights' all-time leading goal scorer. That's a pretty neat puck to put on your mantle.
Yeah, it's a good title. A lot of guys in there are hunting, though. They're hot at the moment.
With this team, the way you guys are winning, you're 17-3-3 since the All-Star break. So this team is rolling. Now that playoffs have been clinched, now that you guys can say the word out loud, what is the goal for this team these final 6 games before the playoffs kick off? There's still more regular season hockey to play.
Well, you want a good feeling going into playoffs, so I think we've been rolling well. So trying to keep that up, get as high in the standing as possible, and then have a good feeling going in is important.
Just adding on to that, is there one specific aspect of your game that you guys want to work on in the final 6 games?
As I said, I think we can do a better job playing with the lead. and if we get better at that, we're gonna be tough to stop.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, thank you.